know that we should read labels on food. But when you pick a food and you're reading the label, do you really know what it means? Stay with your lady Salome in this video as I talk about how to read these food labels and the meaning of them. Stay tuned. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Ezra Wellness, where you learn proven ways to healthy living. This is your lady Salome Admako. I'm a nurse and a functional nutrition counselor. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to read a food label when you pick it up in the store. Because I know most of the time we all hear that we should read them. Before, when food was a whole food, it wasn't a problem. But now there is so many things out there that it could be confusing. So in this video, we are going to dig into that. If you're new to this channel, I say welcome to Ezra Wellness. I see I have some new subscribers. I say thank you for subscribing to this channel and following and giving me comments in the videos. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, I say subscribe to this channel so that we all join together and grow healthy. So let's dig right into today's video. So today I have with me popcorn that I'm going to be using as an example, the way to read the food label. I'm not saying go eat popcorn, but I'm using it as an example in this video because I found that it was easier to use this. So normally, when you see a food label, they have so many things on it. Like this popcorn, you see it says gluten-free, no artificial added colors, no artificial preservatives. And sometimes you will see heart healthy, organic, and all that stuff. I don't want you to concentrate on what is written in front of the label because, you know, those are marketing things that the manufacturers have put over there so that it is going to grab your attention, that you're going to pick that food because you think, oh, it's heart healthy, it's good for me. But what I want you to pay attention to, you flip the item and then now you go back to read the label that is telling you what is actually inside this food that you are deciding to buy. So now let's start from the top and work our way down to the bottom. When it comes to the food labeling, the FDA recommends that the manufacturers will put on the back of the package the nutritional fat. And these are the nutritional fats over here that are listed. And after the nutritional fat, they have to list the ingredient that is in the food. So we are going to start from the top and work our way to the bottom. So it says the nutritional fat. And you see, it normally will start with the servings that is in the bag. So you see, in this big bag of popcorn, it says 10 servings per container. That means it's 10 servings in this bag of popcorn. What that means is that you could eat this popcorn 10 times if you choose to. And then the next one on the line is the serving size or the per serving. That means what normally people will eat when it comes to this popcorn. It doesn't mean what you should eat, but what normally people will eat. So the serving size for this bag of popcorn, it says 2.5 cup. So 2.5 cup is what normally people eat for this popcorn. And when you eat 2.5 cup, we move on to the next line. It's equal to 160 calories. So people normally eat that, but you choose to eat 5 cups instead of the 2.5 cup. That means you multiply this calorie here by 2, which is going to be 320. So that is the amount of calorie that you've eaten when you eat 5 cups of this popcorn. If you choose to eat the whole bag, then you multiply it by 10, and then you're going to see how much you'll be eating. So you see, when you multiply the whole bag, you will see how much you've taken in. So when you sit down and eat this big bag of popcorn, you've taken so much calories already. And this is not a healthy source of calorie. What does the calorie means anyway? Calories is the amount of energy that you get out of any given food that you eat. So in this popcorn, when you eat the 2 servings, you get 160 calories. Now let's move on down to the next items here. You see, when it comes to the food, we have the macronutrients. And our macronutrients, we have 3 of them. You have your protein, you have your fat, and you have your carbohydrates. These are the macronutrients. So that is how the label is written in that order. The macronutrients come first, and then the micronutrients. So the macronutrient, they normally start with fat. So you see this popcorn have 2 grams of, total fat is 10 grams. And then they have 2 grams of saturated fat. Trans fat is 0, and that is what you want. You don't want any trans fat in the food that you're eating, because trans fat is an anti-nutrient. It blocks you from absorbing most of your nutrients and is carcinogenic. And the other fat that it also talk about is cholesterol. And sometimes if the food have unsaturated fat, it might list it over here too, that you might see that. The next item that is written down is your sodium. Sodium here is 240 grams. And you know the body needs sodium quite a lot. That is why it's written among the macronutrients. The other macronutrient that we'll move down to is your carbohydrates. And in this bag, you have carbohydrates. When you're reading your carbohydrates, you want to make sure that you have fiber and then the sugars. Those 2 make the carbohydrate. Yes, if you did not know it, fiber is a carbohydrate. So that's it. So if the food is saying 0 fiber, you want to put it back down, because you want to eat fiber with everything that you're eating, because you know fiber helps with our digestive system and all that. And then the total sugar here, it says 2 grams. You don't want any bag that says added sugar. If it has added sugar in it, please put it back. And the next item on the list is protein. And the protein in here, it says 4 grams. After our protein, we move on down to vitamin D. In this bag, it's saying there is no vitamin D in it. It talks a little bit about calcium. We have iron, and then we have potassium. And you see, when you look down here, it says not a significant source of added sugar. And that is what you want. And now you're saying, Salome, what about the percentages on the side? The percentage that is on the side is based on daily value. And what is daily value? You see, the FDA recommends that every healthy individual will eat about 2,000 calories a day. Depending on what you are doing, this calorie may vary. You might need less, or you might need more. Let's say if you're pregnant, you might need more. If you're breastfeeding, you might need more. If you're an athlete, you might need more. If you're somebody that doesn't do much, you stay around most of the day, you might need less. So if you want to know the amount of calories you need in a day, you could talk to your doctor and he could help you decide how much calorie you take in a day. But this daily value here is based on the amount of this nutrient that you need in a day. So let's take the sodium, for instance. The daily value of your sodium is 100%. And now, in this popcorn, when you eat a 7, you are eating 10% of your daily value. That means when you divide your daily value of sodium into 10, you're eating 1 of it. So when you eat 2 servings of this popcorn, you've eaten 20% of your sodium intake for the day. So if you've eaten 20% of your sodium intake for the day, what do? That means when you're eating anything else in the rest of the day that contains sodium, you want to go easy on it. So that is what this daily value means. And it applies to all the values that are written here, like your saturated fat, your other cholesterol, your, you see all the vitamins and everything. Those are all include the same thing applied to them when it comes to the daily value. Now, the next thing that I want us to look at is the ingredient. You see, when it comes to this popcorn, you see the ingredient here. It have popcorn, vegetable oil, and then under the vegetable oil is corn oil, canola oil, and or sunflower oil. So that means they combine 3 oils together to make this popcorn. You have cheddar cheese with it, milk, cheese, cultures, salt, enzymes, whey, buttermilk, natural flavor, and salt. And these are the ingredients that is in this popcorn. So what happen is that the ingredients is normally listed in a descending order. And what do I mean by that? That means what is most in
the popcorn is what is written first. So you see the popcorn is written first. That means this bag contains a lot of popcorn, and that is it. It's popcorn. That is what is in the bag. And then the next ingredient that is the most abundant in this popcorn bag is the vegetable oil. The next one is the cheddar cheese. So what happens when it comes to the ingredient section? What is the rule of thumb that I say here? If you have more than 10 ingredients in an item, and there are ingredients that you cannot mention the name, please put it back. Probably it belongs to the lab. It does not need to be eaten. And that is the rule that I normally say. If you have an ingredient that you cannot read, please put it back. Because for instance, when you take this, I have this here is flax seeds. When you look at the ingredients in this bag, it only says whole flax seeds. And that's it. There's only one ingredient. And those are the kind of items that you want to buy.
So now you know how to read your food labels. If you cannot read it, it belongs to the lab. Put it back on the shelf and don't bother yourself eating it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Are you new to this channel? Don't forget to subscribe. And when you do, click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my educative videos. Until I see you in the next video, remember, this is Ezra Wellness, where you learn proven ways to healthy living. Thank you for your time.